It's Wicked here, and today we're gonna kind of continue with what we were doing with our bringing a stick figure to life, working all the way to completion. But we're gonna add something cool this time. We're going to need a pencil and eraser, and we are going to go and draw something in perspective. Okay, so we're gonna do another action pose. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to take my line and I want to lightly sketch my line of action here. So it's kind of like a backwards C, like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my head in here, or at least just, a reference for it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is what we want to establish is like where the shoulders are. So I'm going to put a line this way, kind of like an upside down stick man. Okay, and I'm going to put in a circle for the shoulder there, and then we're going to put the shoulder here. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go from here, I'm going to go out with my arm. Actually, let's go down a little bit more. I'm going to go out this way, just in front of the face. Okay, I'll put a little circle there for my elbow. And like I said, once you get used to drawing with the stick figure stuff, you don't have to do the stick figures anymore. You can just start, doing the outlines of the muscle shapes. But we're going to do one more stick figure just so we get that last bit of practice in. Okay, our next one, we're going to have our line come out. Okay, I'm going to draw a little circle here, and we'll bring that arm down. We won't make this one touching the ground so much. Okay, so we have this midway point here is the abdomen. So we're going to come in here for our waist and add a line. Now if you've noticed, I've turned it the opposite direction of the shoulder, so where these are diving down, this one's going to go up a little bit more. So let's do that. Let's turn it up. Just like that. Okay, so that's just a representation of our hips. So we can just kind of put a little circle there just to know that that's where our legs connect at. A little bit darker so you can see that better. Okay, so it's going to kind of look like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch that thigh out. Okay, now this is going to be in perspective, so it's going to be kind of coming towards us. So you have to kind of think about how long something's going to be. So like that's my knee there. I'm going to come out this way, and it won't be as long, so I'm going to cut into here with my foot shape. Okay, so that's going to be the closest thing to me. It's that foot, and then from back here off this hip area, I'm going to go back, but it won't be as long because it's going to fade off into the distance. I'm going to have like a short stretch from here to here on these circles. Okay, and then I'm going to take it and go back a little bit more. Alright, and we're just going to add in a smaller foot on this side. So as you can see, as it gets closer, it's a little bit bigger. Here in the middle, we stay at a standard structured side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start building these areas up. So the first thing I wanted to establish is my chest. So I'm going to come in here right off my shoulders. I'm going to come in and do this rounded part of my back right here to the midsection, and then bring that out. side and stretch that. Okay, so I'm going to have a shape like that in the middle. Okay, now I want to stretch this abdomen down, but we want to put like an arch to it. Just because of the bend and the crease in the body. Okay, and then we're going to do that kind of an underpants shape here. That'll be our stand-in for that. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building out from here. I'm going to build out my my thigh muscles. So I want that to kind of right here start to come out. So I want to round that and take that into a leg shape, just the underside where the hamstrings and stuff are. Okay, then right here where we started, I'm going to kind of start this way and bring that out. Okay, so we're going to just round that, bring that towards the knee. Okay, so now I have this shape right here. And then what I can do is I can come out and make that knee shape right there. And then where this part curls under, we want the calf to kind of start forming in front of that. So I'm going to take that out like this. I'm going to go very rounded with it. Okay, I'm going to take that down and go right into the foot. Alright, then I'm going to come this way. I'm going to round just a little bit, and then I'm going to go straight into my foot on this side. So now that I have that established, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean up inside. Like that. So see how that gives us our leg shape now? So now we're good to go with that. Now, since we're out here, let's go ahead and let's build our foot out. Okay, so we want this piece here to kind of just go ahead and round out into the foot. Kind of a slight overlap. So it's just a little arch section. Now right in here, we're going to have that kind of like ankle structure. It doesn't have to be detailed. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of round out the top of the foot like that. And then we're just going to establish a basic shoe shape like this. Okay, so see how that's close to us? And then I'm going to come out this way and just connect that in. Okay, so now I can take this, connect that for the bottom part of the shoe there. Okay, so now I'm just going to erase inside and outside that foot just so I can see it clear. Alright, now next thing I want to do is establish that same distance here. So I'm just going to kind of round that just a little, not have it too defined. Okay, so we have that like that. So I'm going to take my line and I'm going to kind of crease up just a little bit. Okay, and if you haven't figured it out, we're drawing a female this time. Alright, so now we're just going to come off the hip area. So see that circle we put in there is really just more of a stand-in than anything. So we're going to round that out and come straight down towards the knee. Okay, so because it's farther away, we're not concerned about it being as long as this thigh muscle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, just for clarity's sake, we're just going to erase this inside so you can get a better look at that. So now I have this shape in here. I do want this piece to kind of curve under. Okay, and then from there I'm going to do that same thing I did with my calf before. I'm going to stretch this out and curve it down. Okay, so that'll give me my calf shape, and that's running behind. Then I'm going to come right off my thigh here and make a knee. Okay, let's just clean out that area so we can see it better. So just like that. Alright, now we're going to come right here from the knee and just curve straight in like that towards the foot. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of round out, and we want to get that same shoe shape back in here. Okay, so now I have my feet spread out. Okay, next thing I want to do is we want to really establish this abdomen area. Okay, so we're going to bring this up and just refine from the waist there, and then I'm just going to erase out right there. Okay, now we're going to have a slight bit of the buttocks showing here. I'm not really sure what the best term for that's going to be, but we do want to make sure that we arch in front of that, bringing that up right here. So as you can see, we're making slight adjustments as well. Okay, so this is now stretched up to this point. We want to kind of curve that out to this point here, and then we're just going to take it on the back right here, put another line just right in front of it, and take that out to the shoulder right there. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up this bottom area for now, right there on the sides, just like that. Okay, now I want to establish these shoulders. Alright, so as I bring my line up here, I want to build out that shoulder muscle shape, so almost kind of like a teardrop. Just like that. Okay, so now that I have that in there, that's my shoulder. I also need to establish the underarm, right? So I'm just going to kind of bring that out, and we're going to build up our muscle shapes. Now we're seeing mostly the back part of the arm, so we're going to see more of the tricep, which is the muscle on the back side of your arm. Okay, so we're going to kind of have that shape like this here. So what I'll do is we'll establish like a little curve definition for that muscle, like that. Alright, and then what we'll do from there is we have to keep extending it with the bicep area, so the underside won't be as bulky, right? But we can come right back over here and establish that just like that. Okay, now once we get down into the elbow area, we can make an adjustment. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come up and just connect that right to the elbow, just like that. Alright, now I want, because it's facing us, I want my forearm to kind of cut in front. So that's going to come down and go out. And I'm just cleaning up as I go so you guys can see everything better. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to come down from my elbow. We're going to have a slight curve out right here. And then that's going to turn in and connect down by the hand. So now we have ourselves a nice little arm establishment. Now this part, maybe round it a little bit more, but that's where our arm is. Okay, so now I want to take this part it's almost like we're making a foot, right? But we're not going to do that. So this, where this is coming down, we're going to take our hand and spread it out. Okay, so see how I've put in just 3 fingers for now. Let's clean up inside so you guys can see it better. Okay. Just define that a little bit more. And then right in here, we'll probably put like more of a bend out coming back towards the center hand. And then we'll extend. Since this is the middle finger, we want that to kind of come out far. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. My camera cut out on me. Like I was saying, we just want to kind of extend it out. Middle finger a little bit more. Probably not so skinny. And now, see how I have that pinky too is longer? We don't want that. That's going to look weird. So let's stretch out the ring finger just a little bit more too. And then we can kind of index finger and have that for the thumb coming out. Alright, so next thing I want to do is we need to establish the chest and where that's at. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of curve around like this. So see how I've made this kind of arch like that, right? So now I'm going to kind of cut right underneath it. I'll just do that for the chest there. Okay, so I'm just going to erase and clean up in that area. And we're just going to have that kind of in the middle there for now, in case we want to make an adjustment. Now from there, I'm going to build my shoulder out. I'm going to see a little bit of it right here. Okay, so now I'm going to take it and clean up inside. Okay, I want to establish my bicep right here. And then from the elbow, okay, we're going to go back like this, and then just curve that around back into the body. Okay, so we'll have something like that. Now I want to establish my elbow. A slight curve, and bend that down. Then we're going to kind of cut in front again on the arm. And go down that way. That might be a little bit too thick right here, so we're just going to go ahead and just decrease that curve. Like that. We'll erase that up too. Okay. Now this hand is not going to be attached, So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and what I mean by attached is it's like not touching the ground. So I'm just going to have my fingers curled right here. Okay, and then we can kind of build that hand shape with a curve right there. And then just build that out right into the wrist. So we'll just leave that there because we can't see the other fingers. Okay, now the next part is probably the most important part, is establishing our head. So I have my shoulder out here, right? That's a little too pointed and it's going to cause me to turn, so I'm just going to cut it down just a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch my neck out like that. I'm going to come get the underside. So I'm using the head for my reference. The underside of the jaw right here. Come up and establish ourselves in ear shape like that. And darken this for you so you can see it better. Okay, so I got the underside of the jaw. Now where this neck comes back, that's where our skull's going to connect. So we're going to take that out and around like that. And then this is going to be my chin. And I'm just building up the shape of the face for now. Okay, so that's going to be my placeholder for the head. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take what we got and we're going to start building that up into a character. Okay, so sticking with the theme from last week, first thing popped in my head while doing this pose is obviously Chun-Li. Okay, so first thing I want to establish is this, the clothes on the body. Okay, so like up here at the shoulders, there is no clothing covering it, right? So I can just come down from this part right here and close that off. And then I can just take that, and she has these like little gold outlines right there. Okay, so that's that first part of the vest. Now the next part I want to do, we can't see this side, so we don't have to worry about it at all. But I do want to slightly come down right underneath here. Okay, so right in here, we're going to come back. We're going to add a split in the vest right here. I'm going to erase this back in. Now if you notice, I'm refining my lines as I go to save on some time. Okay. Now right in there is where we have our line. I can now come up and go back. Okay. And then from there, I can take that edge that is on her vest and we can take that up the body there and add a little bit of it right here on the edge too. Okay, then what I want to do is fold out another piece and curve that out this way. I'm going to clean up inside right here. And we just take that back like that. And then what I want to do is just establish that the vest splits. So I'm just going to draw another line close right there in the middle. Alright. So now that I have that, the rest of the body doesn't really have much to it, other than to say that we can put in tabs or a fate outline of it. So like in here by the navel, I can put a small circle, and we can just establish that way. Okay, we want to kind of use what we have to crease in. So I can cut this part back just a little, like that. Okay, now the only thing that's missing is right here along the body, she has these stripes that go down. So we can draw those in right there. I'm going to do another set. Right here, just so we have that going down the line. And that runs all the way down, but on the outside, so we're not going to see it too much. Okay, so what I can do now is I can come in here and I can start refining, and this is her, in case you're wondering, it's her Street Fighter Alpha outfit. Okay, so I'm going to start refining all the way down, at least to the foot. Okay, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to refine again. Alright, now if I wanted to, we could add lines in there for the calf. Just depends where you want to put them. I'll probably start mine here. Just have that slight curve. Okay, I want to refine the underside of the thigh. Make sure that's nice and straight. And then I'm going to go out and just curve back up right here. So you can see we're kind of defining everything out. Now, what I am going to do, let's go ahead and move on to the other leg, and then we'll do the tennis shoes that she wears with this outfit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to come down and refine these legs here. I'm going to clean up inside a little bit just so it's a little bit more clarity. Okay, I'm also going to come in, establish that knee down to the foot, and then again refine the outside of the calf. Okay, now I'm going to come in and start working on the shoe. Right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to establish where the tongue is. So I'm going to just make this shape right here, since it's farther away. It'll just make it easier. Okay, so we're going to come in like this, and we're going to go down, curve in, and then we're going to come right back out on the edge. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to have this curve in on this side. I'm going to come down like this, come in, and curve that back. Okay, so that's going to be the base for our shoe. So let's just go ahead and refine that. That way you can also see it a little better. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to really bring out this heel a little bit more. So I'm going to turn that in and go back. So let's clean up inside of there. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to establish the sole of the shoe. Okay, so let's come out and give this shoe a bottom piece that connects up towards the front. Now I'm going to take this and we're just going to stretch it out more, just to give the shoe a little bit more meat and make it noticeable. Okay. Okay. So now that I have that in there, we're going to come way over here. Now that I see it, just before I forget it, I'm going to refine this area right here. Okay. We're going to come out here to this side, and we're going to establish the shoe on the bottom. Alright, so in order to do that, what we want to do is we want to kind of establish the sole. Okay, so this will be that part that sticks out a little bit more and allows for that arch under the foot. Okay, I'm going to do the same right here. And kind of make that the underside. Okay, so what I can do from there is we can just kind of make up a shape for the bottom. I'm not really sure. I've seen the bottom of Chun-Li's foot or her sneakers. So we'll just establish a very generic sneaker shape. These are not high quality Nikes. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure we have that edge from the foot here. But we're mainly seeing the underside, so I'm just going to refine those areas just so they stick out more. Okay. Now, one thing we could do for fun, just so that we have it, we could draw like a loop out here. Okay, we could say that those are the shoestrings on the sneaker. Alright, we could do another, just kind of having it like kind of cross back and fading. Okay, so that kind of looks like there's strings there. Now down in here I want to come back and add in these lines for that to be the shoestring, and then again I can just come out and add the loops on the shoe, and we can add the strings kind of sticking out there. Okay, so now for the last part, before we add the face, I want you to quickly just go through and refine those arms and hands just so that they stick out more. Okay. That way they're not as faded looking as the rest of the image. Okay. So something else that Chun-Li usually has is she has those bracelets on, or wrist guards, whatever you want to call them, and kind of wrap around. Okay, so I can erase the inside of those. And then we can put in a circle here for a spike, and then add a spike on the ends out here. Okay, so that'd be one. Now I just want to do it for the other side. Just have that come right down into the wrist. Okay. Then I'm going to do a circle here. another spike right down in there. Okay, so now we're going to establish the head. First thing I want to do is, get an idea of the hair first before I go putting the eyes in. So I'm going to put these kind of like two spiky fronts on there. Okay, and then we have to do those buns that she likes to wear. Okay, so we're just gonna erase that out right here. Okay, I'm gonna show a little bit of the ribbon that's tied right there. Alright, so that's my bun. Now I can come back this way for the head, and then take the hair sideburn part down that way. Okay, and then for the hair back here off the neck, we can add a few little like hair strings down. So what you want to do is kind of have it, because if you feel like the hair on the back and where it goes actually runs right behind your head, so we can bring that out and just have a few little stringy hairs there. We could probably stretch the neck just a little bit. Okay, and then from there we can add a stylistic choice, but we could add the ribbons from the bun. Like that on the hair. Now since the head is completely turned to the side, we'll probably see just a slight bit of that bun on the other side, but either way we could still add in another ribbon and just have that disappear behind the head. Okay, and then down in here, right, we have our forehead, which comes down into our nose. Okay, so we have our nose shape here, and then I'm just going to connect out into that. And just establish the lip shape. Okay, I'm going to come in here, give a little definition to the ear. It's not essential for this drawing purpose. Okay, and then we can get our eye and eyebrow right inside there, and get a little line for the rest of the nose. So the hardest part here when it comes to perspective is getting that chin to look right, because we don't want it to be, lack of a better term, too flat. So we want to make sure we kind of turn back out right there. Alright, and that is going to do it for a little dynamic Chun-Li pose. So I have I'm going to go around and do my usual outlining part. You don't have to do that, but I have some announcements. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining the channel. must say I woke up to a pleasant surprise of having 70 plus subscribers, which is awesome. But I do need your help, okay? Apparently, because I said in another video last week that and again, I'm just going around and thickening up the edge and outlining, that I was going to do a poll to find out what you guys wanted. But since I'm relatively new on being a creator on YouTube as opposed to just watching, apparently I don't have enough subscribers to do polls and ask you guys what you want. So I am really asking for your help so that I can continue to give you content that you want. To please leave a comment. It doesn't have to be anything necessarily just about the artwork. I mean, you can if you want to. I'll sit there and hold a conversation with you. But I just need comments on what you want to see on the channel, what art lessons you want to get. So, as it stands right now, we're going to keep doing our Monday art lessons. So, like today's video. And then on Tuesday, if anybody's interested in those videos, those are things I need to know. Doing the Tiny Tuesday for more of like the younger audience, which you can still do because it's good practice, just to learn to draw in different styles and stuff. But Wednesdays I'm going to dedicate to digital art. So those of you who have a digital drawing pen of some kind and can download Sketchbook, that will be very beneficial. And the reason why I choose Sketchbook and not Photoshop, which I do have, and if that's what you want to see more of is Photoshop, that's, again, let me know in the comments and then I can do that. But Sketchbook is the only one that's free, so if we have people on the channel who can't afford to and want to follow along, that's why I've been using Sketchbook. But again, I need your comments to let me know if you would prefer Photoshop or Sketchbook. So again, that's Monday is going to be an art lesson. Tuesday will be Tiny Tuesdays, for just more of the younger audience, and then Wednesday will be digital art. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like watching time-lapse videos, and I like making them. I think they're fun. So Thursdays, I'm just going to put like a little 10-minute time-lapse of me working on something. I may do a little like voiceover for a minute just to explain what it is I'm drawing, and then just put some lame music to it, I guess, or some YouTube music, just because I like time-lapse videos. Okay, so that would be for Thursday. And then Fridays, we'll continue to do the Fun Draw Fridays. And again, if there's a certain thing, excuse me, I apologize. If there's a certain thing you want me to draw for any of these days, again, I need you to comment so that I know, right? So like for this Friday, if I choose to draw Black Panther or Broly from Dragon Ball, and you guys are hoping for something else, leave me a comment, leave me a suggestion, and I will add it to the list and make sure that it ends up on Fun Draw Fridays. Or if you have an art lesson that you want to learn, like about shading or anything like that, I already have some videos on that. But if you want like a more in-depth, like the main thing with this channel is it's supposed to be real time, and I understand most people don't want to sit there and sit through a whole 50-minute video, 30-minute, hour-long, whatever, and that's what the time lapse will be for if you just want to do that. But if you have a suggestion of something you'd like to see, it really gonna benefit not me but you and your art education by letting me know what it is you want to learn. So please do me a favor when you're done with this video, leave a comment. Obviously liking, sharing, subscribing obviously helps to expand the viewer base, which that's great if that happens. If it doesn't, I'm just here to help you guys learn how to draw. But I need help deciding what it is you guys want to actually learn, so that I'm not veering way off into left field trying to figure out what it is you guys want. Okay, so I'm almost done outlining this picture. Just gonna refine this midsection a little bit. So again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for everybody who has joined the channel recently. I appreciate that. Again, like, share, subscribe if you like what's going on. Other than that, I thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good day. I hope you learned something. I hope you had some fun. And until the next video, keep sketching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.